Hey there, name's Dave. I got something to say. And the thing I got to say about it is let you in a little secret. I like going to Buc-ee's. The gigantic convenience store on steroids, the travel centers, popping up all over the country. I like going there, get my Beaver Nuggets, get the chopped beef barbecue sandwich. I like those. I mean, of course, they got souvenirs. That's where I got this shirt from. And of course, they're well known for their clean restrooms. Plenty of stalls, no waiting. And of course, you go outside, you see all the gas pumps, and you kind of see this row of gas pumps just seems to go on forever. All right. But at the same time, aware, Buc-ee seems to have their issues. I mean, they're kind of seem to be trying to open up all over the country, and their people are kind of starting to push back, saying, "Nah, you're too popular. Mess up the traffic." And Buc-ee seems to has this thing where they're always kind of watching out for you know, their images. Don't want any other companies having animal mascots that kind of somehow look like they're beaver, Buc-ee the beaver. I mean, right now they probably have this fuss with this company up in Ohio. It's called Mickey's, and Mickey's uses a moose for their mascot or emblem. And people at Buc-ee's will say, "Nah, people will think confused and think they're they see your store, they think they're going to Buc-ee's when actually they're going to your Mickey's, or they'll think they're going to Mickey's when it's actually a Buc-ee's. They just get all confused." Well, my comment to folks at Buc-ee's is, chill out, man. Here, have some Beaver Nuggets. Okay, trust your customers. We know the difference. I mean, I do not personally expect to drive up to a Mickey's and somehow get confused, saying, "Oh, that's a Buc-ee's." For one thing, it's about a thousand miles away from where I live. Plus, I do know the difference between a beaver and a moose. Okay, I can tell the difference. All right. I mean, I grew up watching the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons. Rocky the squirrel and Bullwinkle the moose. I had no trouble telling the difference. Okay, and by extension, I really have no trouble telling the difference between a squirrel and a beaver. All right, and I also have no trouble telling the difference between Rocky the squirrel and Rocky the boxer. Okay, so like I said, trust us. We know the difference. We have no trouble. We'll recognize that we're at a Buc-ee's. Okay, so. With that, my name's Dave. I got something to say, and I said it. Now, I wonder if DoorDash delivers Beaver Nuggets.